97.3 Citi FM. Relevant radio, always.
Hello and welcome to Citi Scape on Citi TV. I am your host, Kuda, and today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, a favorite of mine, of course. It's one that affects both men and women, but we're going to focus on women, and we're talking about dressing for the plus size or curvy woman, depending on how you would like to define this. So today we're joined by a very lovely lady. She's very interesting. She has red hair. She has red hair, people. I'm just gonna let her introduce herself.
My name is Apiorkor, the one and only.
The one and only? Okay. I'm the one and only. So today we're talking about dressing for the plus size woman or curvy woman, depending on how one would describe themselves or their wife. Okay, so what in your opinion are maybe the few main body types that we need to highlight here that are found within African women, maybe?
I mean, you go on the internet, it's everybody's home for knowledge right now. There's so many different types of body types that you'd be able to find. But let's talk about the four main ones.
Okay.
I'll start with a pear shape, where you've got a slightly smaller top, and as you go down, you kind of round out, you know. Okay. Kuda, I know you think you're a pear. I have my own opinion, but and it's the most common body type.
Okay.
Yes, across the world. So if you're a pear, you're normal.
So you literally look like a pear.
You literally look like a pear. We could draw a pear on you, you know. And then there's the apple, where your top bit is a bit bigger. You also have a bigger midsection, so you're kind of like rounded out. And then you've got smaller arms and smaller legs.
M&Ms. That's the
like
only thing I can
M&Ms,
think
typically.
of. M&Ms.
You know, typically M&Ms. So M&Ms. And then there's also what we call the rectangle. So, or your boy shape. That's what people call it. I mean, a lot of women get very iffy when they're described as a rectangle because they think they look like a man. That's not what it's about. Yes, you have fewer curves or maybe none at all, but I'd like to say that, and Kuda, you know, as a lover of fashion, that in the fashion world, models who are rectangular are preferred by designers.
Of course, because it just gives them a sort of like a hanger effect, if I should call it that.
Take away from the clothing, you know, and people who are rectangles then typically can really rock anything, you know, definitely. And the last one that we're going to talk about, the coveted hourglass, the figure eight.
I put my head
the figure eight.
I once thought I was a figure. I was the hourglass.
Coke bottle shape.
Please fool us. Hourglass is.
Yeah, so you definitely have a rounded top, and then you sort of have a smaller midsection, then it bulges out, and you have those baba boom hips.
So it's more so a bigger top. So I wouldn't be an hourglass because I have
more busty, physique up there, then a smaller waist, and then similar proportions between your hips and your top. So it's not like you're all out there like a pear would be, but there's still some, rounding at the hips. So those are the four main body types.
Four main body types. So people can sort of use this to decipher what sort of clothes fit them better. So, dressing for the plus size woman. I find quite a lot, correct me if I'm wrong, I find quite a lot that people feel as though if you're plus size or slightly larger, you can't wear tight clothes. They feel as though it's just a no-no. It is not flattering at all, but I don't think the actual women themselves think it's an issue.
What would I say about this? Not too tight, please. I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with wearing clothes that fit very snugly. I mean, if you have curves, by all means do flaunt them. But you're a size 8, okay? And then you go and buy a size 4. And then you're tucking and nipping and shoving everything in there.
No, you have to.
Especially when it's stretchy material like a lycra or a bodycon dress. No, it's not a good look. Because what happens is, for example, if you have a big belly area, like I have a lower abdomen that kind of bulges out. So I try not to wear things that portray that too much. Exactly. And if you're very busty and you wear something that's too tight, you end up flattening your chest. So that's not a flattering look at all. You actually lose your curves up there. And then of course, if you have a bit of extra flesh on the sides, cinnamon rolls and whatnot, you're just, I mean, showing them to the world. Some people might say, well, okay, to me, I do what I want to do. But really and truly, a lot of women who do dress like that don't feel very confident. It's more of an inferiority complex kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with being a bit, you know, heavy, a bit curvy. We love our curves, but let's dress in a way to accentuate them. And clothing that's too tight is a big no-no, big no.
And how does the opposite work? So clothing that's a bit loose, if I should call it that.
Baggy clothing. So there are some women also who are not so confident about their curves. They'd rather be skinnier, a little trimmer, so they tend to wear things that look like sacks. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
But that does that not just make you look like a tent?
It does. Like a tent. It does. It doesn't flatter you in any way. I mean, at least that's what I think. It doesn't. You can find a balance, you know, where even if you don't want to go too tight or you don't want to be more on the tight size, do maybe a size up, you know, so that you still have some space, but you're still showing people that you have beautiful curves. Let's celebrate them, you know.
Okay, so colors, 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 and colors.
I could go on and on and on about colors. But typically, if you're on the more curvy plus size side of things, I'd say you want to stick with darker colors. Let's be a bit sensitive though. In our part of the world, black connotes that you're mourning. Okay, it gives people that message. So a lot of people are a bit iffy about doing all black every day. That's fine, but you can do a nice black blouse, you know, and maybe gray pants or navy blue pants. Just stick with the darker colors. Even if you're going to do, I mean, Kuda, you're wearing black and white stripes, and notice they are vertical, which is also very important, you know, to keep the stripes vertical, and then you have black slacks on. That's a way to go as well.
My very last question. I'm in love with these, so I had to ask. V-necks. How do plus size curvy women do V-necks? Because I absolutely love them. If I could wear V-necks all day, every day, I would.
I love V-necks too. Why? The V kind of gives the illusion that you're getting smaller as you go down. So if you're busty, I'm quite busty. So right now I'm wearing something that's a bit baggy, so it's kind of toning it down, but I'm quite busty, you know. So I like to wear V-necks. It kind of slims you as you're going down. And if you're doing everything where we've spoken about with the darker colors, less, you know, a few bigger accessories as opposed to more accessories, you know, you're keeping your shoes on point, you realize that you have that slimming effect continuing all the way down when you wear a V-neck. Very flattering for a curvy woman.
And with that, people, it's a wrap. We're done for today. I hope to see you guys next time. You can follow us at Citi Showbiz on Twitter, or follow myself at Kuda GH on Twitter as well. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye!